guys. I just wanted to record a little video talking about the astrology of 2021 and what we can expect down the pipeline. So astrology of 2021 is less intense than 2020, but there will still be a lot of conflict and division and people standing up for what they believe in. We have the major thing that's going to play out for most of the year is Uranus in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And a square in astrology is where two energies square up in a boxing ring with each other. So it creates tension. So let me just talk a little bit about Uranus and Taurus. So Taurus is the bull that stands really still and firm, and they're stubborn and they are slow to change. Taurus is the energy of Mother Earth, and it's very grounded and very sensual, and also it's just it's like our monetary resources, so money and finances. Uranus, which is where Uranus is in Taurus right now, Uranus is the planet of liberation and freedom. If you want to kind of imagine him as the rebellious one that breaks something up so that we can have freedom, and it can oftentimes feel sudden or unexpected, kind of like a lightning bolt. Uranus ultimately wants truth and to be set free. So that's one of the energies. And then Saturn is the planet of responsibility and discipline, and where does your responsibility lie? What are your goals? He's very realistic. Oftentimes he can feel like he blocks us from things because he wants us to work a little bit harder, or we haven't quite learned the lesson yet. And he's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of liberation. And Aquarius is the one that is the rebel that seeks to change the future in really innovative ways because it knows what humanity needs. You know, Aquarius is the one that rules large groups of people, community, humanity as a whole. And so Saturn being in that sign means that we will hold a lot of responsibility for the energy of Aquarius, but also we may feel blocked or like it's not moving fast enough, especially because it's squaring up with Uranus, who's asking us for change now. And Saturn says, no, 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 you have to climb the mountain slowly through discipline and responsibility. So starting as early as right now in January, we are already in that square energy. February is when it's exact. So, and it will go back and forth all year until December. So you can just imagine that 2021 is colored by us desperately wanting change, but not necessarily knowing the strategy on how to get there, if that makes sense, because Uranus and Taurus strategy versus Saturn and Aquarius strategies are very different. So it could certainly feel frustrating. I also believe that in 2020, a lot of people had to realize what mattered to them, what do we value, and what do we do to take care of ourselves in order to feel resilient? And that's going to play a huge role in 2021. I mean, you already are probably seeing a lot of mediums and astrologers talk about how self-care, not in a do your nails and your hair, although that's a form of self-care, but what do you need to function and survive? The people pleasing and the boundary work and all of that's going to continue on in 2021 as a necessity. So all these tools that we have perhaps figured out in 2020, what are the tools that work for us? What are the things that we actually need? These are going to play a huge role in 2021 for us to stand resilient. So that's something that we're going to have to continually practice over and over again. For me, I feel 2021 really made me realize that I have to pay attention to this heart center and what does this need, because if you're not taking care of the inside, then the outside's going to be crazy. The external world's going to come at you if you're not strong and solid in here, So a lot of astrologers are calling 2021 old versus new, because Saturn is traditional and structures and foundations, and Uranus is all about like innovative, futuristic thinking. So what do we take from the old structures and even the old earth cycle that we were in for the last 200 years, and what, because now we're in this air cycle, right? On the solstice, we like moved into the next cycle of time, which is all about air, which is information and ideas and listening to each other and science and factual information and all kinds of just like words, air. So what do we take from that earth cycle? What are the structures that will last, and what are the ones that no longer serve us, and how can we bring in new innovation in order to like create a different way of living? Literally, this is a different way of living, like a different society, a new world. And I also just really want to mention that we ended major cycles in 2020. Like, we are just in the seed planting stages of this new cycle. So we just planted the seed. And so when you plant a seed, it takes a lot of time and a lot of care in order for the seed to grow. It's not going to be like a really quick fix, you know? We are deciding every day in every now moment what we want the future to look like. And as a collective, because there's like collective energy, you know, as a collective, we can change the trajectory of like what that looks like. And I truly believe that in 2020 we did that many times. Perhaps we were going down a road that was like worse than it could have been in 2020, honestly. So that's that. The structures that do not serve us are falling and will continue to fall, and that will be a theme so that we can create new ones. And we're talking about many years of creation and rebuilding. So let me see, make sure I got all my notes here. The last thing that I'll say is I think that society is moving towards no longer feeling like you have to rely on outside structures and systems, you know, like government or like, how do we become more self-sustainable? How do we grow our own food? How do we create communities? How do we trade and barter? How do we go back to living in a way where we're more resilient and more self-sustainable? That's going to be a huge theme, along with, you know, things like astrology and where you talk about like spiritual science or spirituality merging with science and realizing that there's so much to learn when it comes to like studying energy and the brain and things that we can't see. You know, the woo-woo stuff. The woo-woo stuff is gonna then merge with actual science, and they're gonna like intertwine in order to create a more sustainable future for ourselves, for our health, for everything. So that's gonna also continue on. If you're interested in where all of these things are going down for you specifically, send me a message or a DM. In everyone's chart, you have Saturn and Jupiter moving to a different place. So you're shifting aware, you know? So for example, for me, 2020 was colored by my career. Saturn and Jupiter were in this place of like, who are you in the public eye? What are your goals? And I definitely felt them a lot, like me pushing me to ask those really big questions. And now they have shifted into a different place in my chart. And so everyone experienced them in one place and now is experiencing them in another. So everyone is going through a massive shift in where things are showing up in your life. And I know a lot of people are like realigning themselves with more true values of like, this job doesn't work anymore, this relationship doesn't work anymore. So whatever you're going through, please be gentle on yourself. Like, these are brand new energies that we're all sort of integrating and getting used to. And even for our physical bodies, when energies shift, it's a really big deal because our bodies are trying to get used to it. So yes, be gentle on yourself and don't beat yourself up, and just try to, you know, like trust that you're going to integrate it when you need to integrate it and find clarity when you need to find it. I think that 2021 is going to be much faster moving than 2020. And I think it's going to be less of the backward, like revisiting things. In 2020, we had a lot of retrogrades where we were being asked to like move forward and then move 5 steps back and like hang out here and learn lessons here. So we're now in forward momentum and more clarity is coming. So if you can trust that you'll integrate and figure out what the next steps are for you, if you haven't already, that is coming. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions at all. I'm always here to help. I'm booking readings for the end of January and February right now, so if that's something that you're interested in, I am doing a sliding scale right now just to help reach people. And yeah, that's what I got for you today. Have a good day, guys. Sending love.